Hello, I'm coming to you. I found a book. I had to find this. Sorry about the lighting, but it's late. I was running around today. It's a lot happening, which I'll discuss with you later. Next year, 2021, is going to be a lot of things happening. There's been a lot of talk about people of color and black Americans as opposed to immigrants. And so we're starting to get to the point where we're dealing with really how color is used and misused and how we've created a whole system around it. So I figure I'll pull out the color complex and go into the section called talking about divided families and friends. It's chapter 6. It's a quote from Anne Rice in the beginning of this chapter. And over from the little crowd about the bassinet came those shrills and sprightly observations. Why, that child's got his father's nose and mouth and good hair. Of course, Annabella's got good hair. Just look at that pretty child. And what if it had gone another way? Annabella thought. It seemed it was all that concerned them. That mixture of white and black. Could this child perhaps pass? Anne Rice from the Feast of All Saints. This scene from Anne Rice's novel is set in the 19th century Louisiana, but similar scenes are still common at the birth of children today. Even today. Many black families can barely disguise their anxious concern about the color and features of a newborn. Following routine inquiries about the baby's sex, weight, and health, most relatives will immediately want to know what's he or she look like. A veiled request for information about skin color and features. Family members are likely to be intensely curious about the children of the parents with very different skin tones, and especially those of different racial backgrounds. Early reactions may range from "look at that little yellow thing" to "you better keep that child out of the sun." Such comments, first from family members and later from friends and peers, shape the psychology of a black child as it grows from infancy to adulthood. And I know that still happens. Sophisticated black people won't say it, but they'll think it and they'll get together later and say it. Which might as well say it in front of the parent, but I guess I don't know. In her book Black Families in Therapy, psychologist Nancy Boyd Franklin has identified unique stresses that arise from the issue of skin color. Can't believe this is still a thing. Afrocentric parents may view a child with light skin as an ugly reminder of their slave heritage and may blame the child for not looking black enough. It's sad. In his biography, Malcolm X describes how his light skin displeased his mother since she was ashamed of her white father. Other families may scapegoat dark-skinned children and pamper those who are light. As sociologist Elliot Lebeau discusses in his book Tally's Corner, while most African American family members do not dwell obsessively on differences in color, rarely is the subject neutral or unmentioned. Obsession with color may begin even before the child's birth. The society is obsessed with color. Sandra Brain, the program director of a clinic that provides social services to pregnant girls 14 and younger, says that most of the pregnant black girls she has counseled fantasize about having babies with light skin, light eyes, and good hair. And when a girl who has given birth comes back to the clinic with her baby for a visit, the pregnant girls gather around to ooh and ah if the baby is light skinned, but practically ignore the mother and child if the baby is dark skinned. The pregnant black girls who most intensely desire lighter skinned babies are nearly always those who have lighter skinned mothers, many of whom were ashamed that their daughters were dark. Those girls have grown up hearing comments like, "Get your nappy headed ass out of here," and "how many times do I have to call your black ass?" and consequently have developed intense inferiority complexes. Some confess to having intentionally gotten pregnant by a light skinned boy and hope that the light skinned baby would finally bring them love from their mothers as well as their babies. One black nurse recalls the look of dismay on the face of one dark skinned young woman after the birth of the baby she had conceived with a Puerto Rican boyfriend. Like most newborns, the infant was fairly light skinned, but when the young mother inspected its genitals and earlobes and knuckles for clues to the child's mature color, she cried, "Oh my God, my baby has been touched by the tar brush." Crazy. Oh my goodness. So much mental illness in our community. Black children quickly absorb the guilt, anger, and jealousy and depression generated in their families by an unresolved color complex. A woman will call Rachel, the eldest and by far the lightest of the four children of a very light skinned mother and a dark skinned father in Georgia, was coddled by her parents because of her color. As a result, her younger siblings came to hate her. And one sister in particular acted out her resentment by slashing Rachel's clothes and once cutting off her long hair while she slept. Her parents made the situation worse by punishing the dark-skinned daughter and consoling the fair-skinned Rachel. Eventually, her father left, and her mother invited a darker-skinned sister to live with the family. The aunt, who had always resented her own lighter-skinned sister, began to pick on Rachel, hissing, "Stop flipping your hair like a white girl. You've always wanted to be a white girl, you little bitch." Rachel, now in her 20s, still feels anxious and insecure whenever she happens to toss her hair. She's gaining confidence, however, from working with a black therapist who zeroed in almost immediately on Rachel's deep-seated complex about color, something that her previous therapist, who was white, had not explored. Man, I forgot how this book was. We're still going through this. It's amazing. I don't even know what to say. Uh, Thank you for supporting me. Until next time, please take care of your mind, take care of your body, and be safe.